I got a question. Is monopoly and opportunities, what do they have in common? What does monopoly and opportunity have in common? And let me flip that around. Is opportunity monopolized? Is opportunity monopolized? I want to talk to you today. Um, I'm getting used to this live thing now because I didn't really do much live back in the day. So just been on the road and so forth. So I figured I'm going to start doing some live because the thing is now in between being on the stage, then I can actually connect with some of my people out there. But I want to ask you, is opportunity monopolized? And I'm going to even go a little deeper. Is it monopolized based on your race, your color, your faith, your location? Is it monopolized? Before we get into that, I wanted to introduce myself. My name is Andrew E. Guy, work-life enrichment coaching consultant and registered psychotherapist. And my goal really is to help build resilient leaders and learners for life, period. That's it. That's what I'm about. Now, before I start, I'm going to read you something from this amazing book here. My book, Work Your Words. If you're interested in it, just go ahead and pick up a copy. You can go to andrewguyspeaks.com. You can get a copy from there. All right, so here we go. This chapter we're talking about, this is chapter 5, and we're talking about the right substance. The right substance. It says, ideas are golden, but your experiences are treasures. When the experiences are applied through the right thinking, you will overcome obstacles put in your pathway. Thoughts are like forces of nature, always present. They are always present. While the moon may be 150 million miles away from Earth, it still possesses the ability to attract the ocean's tide. I'm going to rest it right there. When we talk about opportunities, what is it in a nutshell? It really is an ability to share your thought. It could be an ability to share your skill set. It could be an ability to share an idea. It just really, opportunity is an ability to help the world know who you are. And I'll say it another way. Opportunity is your opportunity to introduce yourself to the world. Real opportunity or tangible opportunity is the one that you seize. Tangible opportunity is the one that you seize. It's not the one you read about. It's not the one that you hear people talking about. It's not the one that everyone is saying, wow, the grass is greener over there. And you're looking at your grass, and I'm going to use some metaphors, but I will try to explain them as I move along. Some people say that the grass is greener on the other side. But I'm here to let you know the grass is never greener on the other side. The only difference is because they water theirs. They water theirs while you go on vacation to soak up the sun somewhere else. But then when you come back, your grass is killed. Your grass is dead because there was no one watering it. Now you're asking me, Andrew, okay, fine, it's just grass. What do you mean by that? It's just grass, Andrew. The grass is growth. The grass represents growth. The grass represents your intellectual ability to take your skill set. I always talk about your skill set. I always talk about your talent. And I always talk about your gifts because we all have these. But what we need to understand is that they may seem natural. A lot of people will say that they come natural, but not really so. Some of them have to be honed. Skills have to be honed. That means you got to work on it. You may aspire to, let's say, dunk a basketball or to own a Fortune 500 company. But the thing is that it doesn't just come overnight. It's not going to fall out of the sky. You have to work on it. I gave this example in my last live, and I'm going to bring it back again because I want you to get this, because I'm going to keep hammering at it until you get it. That your life is a gift, but you, your person, your body, it is a pencil. It is a pencil, but living is a sharpener. And in order for you to make a point or to have a point to make in life, You have to go to the sharpener. What do I mean? There's a lot of people who are simply just existing. There are a lot of people who are just meandering their way through life. Is that you? If that's you, you need to stop. You need to stop and reflect on where you are. And I'm going to get into that in a little bit. A lot of people don't know where they are. They have not taken a synopsis of where they are. They have not assessed where they are. They have not assessed their skill set. They have not assessed their potential. They have not assessed their resources around them. They have not done that, so they don't really know exactly what to tap into. I want to encourage you. I want to let you know, start assessing where you are. Now, it brings me to my next point. Where are you, by the way? I'll ask you this question. Where exactly are you? If I were to ask you that just randomly, where are you? Whether your name is Bob, Lisa, Jane, whatever, where are you in your life right now? Can you honestly answer that question? I'm going to give you some time to think about it. Okay, that's enough time. You shouldn't have to take that much time to think about where you are. You should have an idea where you are right now. And let's say, for example, you don't know. So how do you figure out where you are? I'm going to bring you to the next idea, which is a compass. A compass basically kind of give you an idea of where you are in terms of, where the Earth's location is. For example, longitude, latitude, that kind of stuff, right? So if I got a compass out in my hand and I open it, it should tell me based on gravitational or magnetic pull on the earth where I am. It will also tell me what direction I can move towards. Am I at east, west, north, or south? When you look at your life like this, you need to say, okay, but where are you right now? Is it a financial thing that you're going through? Is it an emotional thing that you're going through? It is a social thing that you're going through. Is it one of those mental issues that you're going through? Is it a work-life relation thing that you're going through? So I'm asking these questions because this is what you need to do. You need to ask diagnostic questions so you can understand where you are and what steps to take next. All right? When you ask yourself these questions, you should ponder what the answer should be. Don't just haphazardly say, oh, I'm here. I'm in the forest. I am in a pile of snow. Or I'm in the middle of the road. I'm on the highway. I'm on the bridge. No. I am asking you, where are you mentally? Why am I asking you that? Because as a man or woman think it, so they are. So you could be in your car, perfect example. You could be in your car, sitting down in your car, but you could be absent-minded. A lot of times we're driving on the highway, and I'm going to give you a lot of metaphor here because I want to give you as many metaphor as possible so you can lock in. So if this one doesn't work, then this may be the one that works for you. Okay? You could be driving in your car and could be absent-minded. Absent-minded simply means that you're there somewhere, but you're mentally checked out and you're somewhere else. Let's say, for example, you're in your car, but you're thinking about vacation. My favorite speaker of all time, Zig Ziglar, once said that we're always traveling. He said when we're at work, we're at home thinking about what we could be doing at home. And when we're at home, we're at play. And when we're at play, well, we're thinking about the stuff we didn't get done that weren't finished, or assignments or job or duties that are piled up on our desk that we should have gotten done, but we didn't get it done. So we're never settled. We're never settled. We're like a wave on the ocean. We're always moving, but never settled. So what am I getting you to understand is to find out exactly what your locale is. Where are you in your life right now? If I were to look at it on a number scale, I might say, okay, fine, rate where you are. Like if you know where you are, then let's say, for example, you are at number 1. On a scale of 5, I'm at number 1. I see my good friend over there, Dr. Oh My. How you doing? Oh My, how you doing? Thank you for the shout out. I see my friend Johnny checking us out tonight. Johnny, how you doing? Big up my people in the house. And so we're talking about like how to assess your life. How do you know where you are? And how do you take an assessment of your life? You could be an entrepreneur. You could be a business individual. Where are you? in your life? Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you frustrated? If you have not taken a synopsis of where you are in your life, you don't know what the next step is. You don't know where to go. And even if you know where to go, what direction will you take? So I said to you, you're taking this assessment of your life, but you need to have a compass in your hand. Where do I go? Do I go north, south, east, or west? If I decided to go west, is that the best step for me? Now, a lot of people who have been listening to my lives have been making comments on there, and they're saying how this is helping them. My last live, we talked about how to understand if opportunities are monopolized. I said, is opportunity monopolized based on your skin tone? Now, I've heard some of my people said, oh, well, it is. And so they blame their skin tone. I said, well, if they're blaming the skin tone, then you're not looking at what's underneath the hood. I said, your thinking is what is most important. Dr. Martin Luther King said this. He said, don't judge the person by their skin color, but by the content of their character. And I'm here to let you know that the content of your character is between your ears. It's not in your wallet. It's not in your bank account. It is not in your house. I didn't say home. It's between your ears. One great book that I want to recommend that you guys go and get is As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. A profound book. A book that transformed my life. As a man thinketh. Because as you think, that's exactly how you are. That's a biblical scripture. It says, as you think. Here's the case in point. If you are angry, it's because you're thinking about your anger. If you are upset because you're thinking like that. Now, I'm also pursuing a master's in counseling psychology, so I'm studying psychology. In my years of coaching and development and professional speaking, I have done an assessment on myself, and I felt like I need to get retooled because of the level that God is calling me. He's calling me to go higher. He's calling me to reach entrepreneurs. He's calling me to reach people who are moving and are shaking the economy. And so I need to make sure that I'm prepped and I'm ready to go. Not from a religious perspective, but from a spiritual and psychological perspective, from a somatic perspective. Now, when I talk about somatic, people say, Andrew, what are you talking about? So I also have a master's degree in kinesiology. And kinesiology basically is the movement science. It's the science of movement, understanding how the body moves, how the body operates. And so if I say that I am going to lift my arm upwards, I need to exactly understand what muscle groups are coming together to push my hands up, right? I also need to understand what changes my body has to go through in order to facilitate that particular movement. When I talk about the somatic, we also have to understand that there's a psychological aspect that goes with the somatic. So that means if you are thinking a certain way, you may be jacked like Mike Tyson. You may be fast like Bruce Lee. That's somatic. But the only reason why those guys have those skill sets is because of how they're thinking. And so went back to look about this Masters of Psychology, and I'm learning so much. One of the key elements of the program that I'm learning is thinking. How our distorted thinking limits us from the opportunities that are around us, the present opportunities that are around us. Did you know that we miss so many opportunities because we're thinking about the future one? Did you know that we abandon so many loved ones because we're thinking about an opportunity in the future? Did you know that we miss so many goals because we have set one for the future and we're reaching for the one in the future and we abandon the one that's in front of us? You know, I'm going to go on a tangent and tell you this story here. I remember when I was writing this book right here, and a good friend of mine, Dr. Omai, she's on here right now. And I sent her this book. We had this live and we had this interview on my podcast, an amazing conversation. You better go and check it out at islapodcast.com. And we just clicked. You know, she was saying the right stuff. I was saying the right stuff. We were on one accord. And I said, you know, the Lord laid it on my heart. So you know what? Just send her a book. Boom. I signed the book and I sent it off to her. What I have realized, this book, what you don't know, that this book, The Anatomy of the Kingdom and the Power of Community, took me 6 years to write. 6 years. And you're saying, Andrew, what are you talking about, bro? It took me 6 years. You know why? Because of unbelief. No, I have been speaking for over 15 years, right? I have a master's in the program of kinesiology and human performance and physiology. And I'm like, okay, I have all of that background. I was in a medical program before I started all this speaking stuff. And I'm like, okay, the Lord has told you to write this book 6 years ago. Why have you not done so? Fear, unbelief. The number one thing that stopped me was fear and unbelief. I didn't think, like, who's going to read this book? Like, I'm not that smart to go write such a books. The Lord said to me that PhDs are going to read this book. Doctors are going to read this book. You need to write this book. And I'm like, okay, fine. What do I write the book on? At the time, I was under the mentorship of Dr. Miles Monroe from Nassau, Bahamas. Because when we think of the kingdom ambassador, he is the guy. He's the poster child of the kingdom. And I'm there, and I am watching his stuff. I'm reading his book. I'm consuming his book. And I'm telling you right now, if you see over there on my shelf, there is tons of books over there, okay? Like tons of books. That's my library over there, okay? I just read. If I don't know, I read. If I don't know, I read some more, and then I ask questions. But I love reading because from the hearts of men, then we have books, because people now take what's in their mind. I'm not talking about the physical heart, because this is a pump, right? This is only a 4-chamber pump. This is not the heart. This is the heart. And I have now been able to connect with another individual based on what they had in their hearts, and they put it in a book. And I flew to Nassau, Bahamas to meet with Dr. Miles Monroe. As a matter of fact, before the Kingdom book came out, I sat and I spoke with him. I brought my family. I brought my wife. My wife is also from the Bahamas. And I brought my sons. And I had him laid hands on them. And he said, you know what? This man is going to be successful. And then he said, you need to write that book. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what book are you talking about? How do you know I am even working on the book? Say, you need to write that book. And I'm like, all shocked now, right? And I'm like, okay, I felt guilty, left the Bahamas, came back home, still thinking about the book. And so, in disobedient, instead of writing the Kingdom book, I went and wrote this book here. Work Your Words. This was my first book. Finding Your Pathway to Personal Success. I wrote that book, and man, oh my gosh. The confidence that came as a result of writing this book, it was almost as if I had twins, but one came before the other. One of the brainchild came before the other. And so that gave me the freedom to go and start to write the other book, because I was thinking it was so hard. It was so far-fetched. It was so wide. It was so deep. I can't do that. And I know a lot of people may be watching this right now, but there's a time when you're going to go through when you're going to be called to do something and you don't think you can do that. Almost like, Moses, when he was called to deliver the children of Israel, and he said, I can't. By the way, a little background on Moses. Moses stuttered. Moses had a speech impediment. Moses saw a limitation. And so a lot of time our personal limitation could be how we think, what we say, and what we do. We're limiting ourselves. But as we were created in his image, he said that, listen, you're fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are his work, and our soul knows this. So the Creator knows us. He knows what we're capable of doing. And Dr. Miles Monroe, I'm getting back to the story, said that, you know what? If God called for something, that means he knows it's already in there. For example, if I go to the bank and I said I need $1,000 from the bank, that means I already got something in the bank. I know that I have something in the bank. I know that I have something in the bank. I didn't have my fan in here, so I'm sweating. I don't care right now. I'm throwing down, all right? So I am originally from Jamaica, where our country is hot. So I'm cool with this, right? So I'll cool off later on, but I got to finish this. So I remember he said that, you know what, if God called for something that is in there, if you go to the bank, it's because you have money in the bank, right? So what I'm trying to say is that I had no idea that the ability to write the book was inside of me. The only thing that one of the things I was scared about is the anatomy. Do I have the wherewithal to explain the anatomy from a kingdom perspective. I was blown away. I looked at Dr. Miles Monroe's work, and I'm like, oh, there's no way that I can do what this guy does. This guy is the king of the kingdom. I can't do it. And I told myself that for 6 long years. Where am I going with this? Is opportunity monopolized? The first opportunity is not out there. The first opportunity is inside here. Everyone is looking for opportunity out there. The opportunities you're looking for is between your ears. You don't live life on your own terms. Everyone is saying, man, I want to be rich. I want to do this. Why? Because I want to live life on my own terms. Listen, you live life from ear to ear. Is that little piece of real estate in between here that navigates you and the creator that helps you to live life. You never live life on your own terms. So let me get back to the story and wrap that up in a nutshell. I had to write this book first to give birth to this brainchild, Work Your Words. And a lot of people are asking me, Andrew, what is the background on Work Your Words? Well, here it is. I was teaching in Jacksonville, Florida, and 98% of the students that I was teaching were like me. They look like me. Dark skin, black people. Exactly. A majority of them, it was a great mixture between male and female. But they were saying some stuff that tripped me out. They were saying, Mr. Guy, we can't, they say that we're dummy. They say that we're the N-words and, we're from the ghetto, we're from the hood, and we're never going to make it. So I think you're trying too hard. I don't think we're going to make it. I told these kids, I said, let me tell you something. Let me tell you my story. Let me tell you something. Until people know how much you care, one speaker once said, they don't even know if you care. Let me say it again. Until people know how much you care, they don't even know if you care. Okay? They don't want to know how much. They want to know that you care. When these kids started to, I shouldn't say kids, but young men and women, because only goat have kids. These young men and women sat before me, and some of them weep. Some dads were in jail, or mom was in jail, or was a single parent home. They just broke me down. They literally broke me down. I was crying. There was like, Mr. Guy, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. And they even started a fight in my class because one kid was like, well, why did you go ahead and get him upset? Man, you shouldn't have talked about so and so and so. You should have just chill out, man. Ain't nobody want to hear about your problems. And I dried up my tears. I said, it's okay. I needed to hear that. And then I started sharing my story. I shared my story. I said to them, I said, I grew up in foster homes in Jamaica. I didn't know how to read. Even at age 14, I didn't know how to read. I grew up with all these different foster parents. And, I used to cry to go to school. I couldn't get the early education that I need. People used to call me dumb. My eyes are big, by the way. I'm so proud of them. And they used to make fun of them. They used to call me mullet fish. There's a mullet is a type of fish that has big eyes. And I'm telling you, they used to mock me to scorn. I used to get beat up all the time because I was dumb. I couldn't read. I couldn't enunciate. My life was just a wreck. And I prayed and I said, Lord, help me out of this thing. Now, people ask me, so how did you end up in the foster home? I said, well, my mom left me when I was 6 years old to come to Canada so she can make a better life for us. Had nothing. So she left us with these different places to take care of us. Hopefully that they'll do a good job until she come back some 10, 12 years later. As a matter of fact, long story short, she came back in 1988, Sunday, October the 30th, 1988 specifically, and pick us up and brought all 6 children to Canada. We now here in Canada. So big ups to mom. I want to let you know if you're a single mom out there and you're struggling with your kids, don't give up on them. Give into them. Don't give up on them. Give into them. Give into them, because they are the future. Kids are heritage. Don't give up on your children. Does that make sense? And then she came back and got us. And let me tell you something, long story short, if she didn't come back, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be here today. You're looking at a kid that grew up in foster homes, almost committed suicide, tried and failed, and here I am today by the grace of God. So when I tell you that my message in life is all about resiliency, it is all about resiliency. It's not something I'm making up. When I tell you I am probably the dumbest person that you have seen on planet Earth, that's what I've been told. And that's the words I've been working. And hence, the story connects now with my teaching opportunity in Jacksonville, Florida. The kids were working the wrong words. Hence, this is why this was the first book I wrote. Because I too was working the wrong words. And if you work the wrong words, I've always said it and I'm going to say it again. If words were a paycheck and you work the wrong words, they will pay you. And what you will get is failure, nothing, limitation, void, and misery. That's what you will get. You know, when the Creator said, let there be light, light had to show up. If he said darkness, darkness would have shown up. But anyways, darkness was already there. The absence of light is darkness. Does that make sense? Now, here's the next part. Because you don't see opportunity, it doesn't mean it's not there. It's still there. It's because you can't see it. So what you need to do is step back. Stop looking at you and start looking for opportunities. Because you may be looking at yourself and trying to measure up to the opportunity. Opportunities that were meant to transform your life are bigger than you. One of the chapters in this book, it says dream big. Now this book came out, let me see, this is many years ago. What years this book came out? This book was written in 2014. 2014 is in some libraries now, and readers are still talking about this. 2014, since then, I'm hearing people talking about dream big, think big. I'm like, whoa, dreaming big is not just some kind of cliche. Dreaming big, it's a mental function. Has nothing to do with your brain. It's a mental, psychological mindset operation. I've always said it, that your brain is only 3.5 pound matter that lives inside your skull or cranium, but your mind is infinitely flexible. It can go anywhere that you can only ask, think, or even imagine. Your mind is bigger than anything that you can see. That's the part that the Creator puts inside of you that makes you so amazing. It makes you dangerous. Because when people see your mind, there's a saying that the NCAA had a long time ago. He said the mind is a terrible thing to waste, but it's also a powerful thing to invest. I'm going to come back and wrap it all up now so you can get the story. So when I graduated, graduated from my undergrad and my master's and went into teaching, and then met these amazing young men and women in Jacksonville, Florida, and teaching. They were working the wrong words. They were telling themselves that they can and listen to the words that other people were saying. I tell them my story. I said, I am a foster home kid. I'm a no reader. I'm one of those dummies that I'm determined to make something of my life. And I said, if I can finish an undergrad, if I can finish a master's degree, if I can be here, then I know then you can be too. I said, if I can become a teacher, I went to teachers college, graduated, got my certification. I said, if I can be a licensed teacher, then you can be anything. And I tell them, I said, you are like a stem cell. I was teaching science in Jacksonville. And so my kids couldn't pass the FCAT. This is called the Florida Comprehensive Assessment Test. It's the test that they take every year. And they didn't do well on the science portion of this test. And so when I realized they were working the wrong words, I started noting things. What they were saying, I can't, we can't, because they said so. I said, whoa. I started writing. I kept a journal. And so what I decided to do, I was going to invest some of my paycheck. So when I get paid, I'll take some of that money and I'll go to the local KFC, and I realized that you need to have food for some of the kids to actually listen. So I think they listen with their belly. So I said, all right, I'm going to get food. So I bought food for some of the kids, and I said, if you didn't have lunch, boom, I'm going to have lunch day. But I said, you don't just come and eat and leave. I said, here's what you gotta do. You gotta earn it. There's 2 challenges that I give these children. I said, if you get over 90 on my exam or any one of my tests, then guess what? You get to play me one-on-one in basketball. I said, yeah, you get to play me one-on-one in basketball. The next thing that you get to do is you get to have lunch with me personally, and lunch is on me. They studied. They studied profusely. They studied. And guess what happened? These kids, should I say, these young men and women, some of them took me up on the challenge. There are days when I had to ask the principal permission to go into the gym and play 5, 10, sometimes 13 different boys in the gym because they studied hard to do well on my test so they can make it in the gym to play me one-on-one. And I have to tell you right now, I have never lost a game. Why? I never lost a game because my goal was to stay in shape. They helped me kept in shape. I ran every day. I worked out every day, did sit-ups every day, did planks every day. Because, well, if someone beat me, then there will be no need. There will be no quest. There will be no challenge for them to play me. So that's exactly what happened. And we had children who were studying in the hallway. We had children who were walking in the hallway, walking, studying. I did study groups. I did everything that I could. And some of my children inside my class got first place on the science portion of this exam. A lot of people were wondering, so how did you do it? I was given opportunities to go and speak at national conference, teachers conference, to encourage the teachers and teach them how to do this thing. Say, how do you connect? How do you create the environment where children want to learn? And those were some of the things, some of the opportunities that came about. So, long story short, the book came about, Work Your Words. Work Your Words came about after I left Florida, moved back to Toronto, Canada. And so there was a hunger now to apply the Work Your Words, to apply what I know, to apply the right words to get the right results. This book came out, and this book was a success. Now, what does that mean for the Kingdom book? Like I said, it took me 6 years to write this book. And the purpose of this book is to help people to understand that there is a kingdom. We are the kingdom in motion. And we are sent here on earth, created to bring the kingdom, the heaven realms into kingdom by our interaction with other people. So when he says to bring heaven on earth, our goal is to make earth just like heaven, right? By our interaction with each other, by using our skill set, by using our gifts, using our talents to make sure that we can use, that people, when people look at us, when people interact with us, they can see the God in us. That's exactly what it's about. So when we talk about the kingdom, it's not a religion. The kingdom really is about a function. All right. So I'm going to wrap it up all together now because of this man, Dr. Miles Monroe. This is why this book came about. The Anatomy of the Kingdom and the Power of Community. The purpose of this book is my background in anatomy and physiology was supposed to take this knowledge and use it to explain to people what the kingdom was all about by using the anatomy of the body to let people understand that all of these joints supply it. Everything in the body is working together for the good and to maintain homeostasis. Homeostasis basically is order, it's balance. So when everything is working together, when the heart's working, when the lung is working, when all of these things are working together, when the eye's working, when the ear's working, when the brain is working, when the muscles are working, when the long muscles, short muscles are working, when everything is working, when the skeletal system is working to store the red blood cell in there, when all of this is working, when the nostril is working, when you're pulling in oxygen into your body, it binds, the hemoglobin binds to this and it's carried on the blood cell. And this is taken and distributed to the body. When everything is working in the body, we have a community. Community refers to communion. When everything comes together to share their resources, that is what a community is. And so that's why the book, The Power of Community, which is book 2 and it's on its way out, right? Very soon, that book is coming out. Okay, so when we talk about the power of community, we are using the anatomy of the body to explain that, to help you to understand that the body is a community. And when everything is working together, then guess what? It creates what's called homeostasis. In order for the body to function properly or orderly, they must be homeostasis. Homeostasis then means order. Does that make sense? All right. Now, I went through a whole story just to tell you this, that opportunity is not limited. Only thing is limited is your thinking about opportunities. Opportunities are all around you. You also have to understand that tomorrow's opportunity is not the best opportunity. Today's opportunity is better than any other opportunities that could come around the bend. You could say, well, I'm going to win $1 million tomorrow. Did you know today's million is better than tomorrow's million? Did you know that right now $1 is better than the $1 you're going to get 10 years from now? So what am I getting you to understand? That now is the appointed time. Now is the appointed time. And the reason why I'm saying that to you is because a lot of people do not assess their lives to find out what skill they have, what talent they have, what things they have. And I use a metaphor to help them to understand this. I said to them, what's in your hand, Moses? Have you heard that term before? What's in your hand, Moses? What's in your hand, Moses, really means, what do you have? Moses had a staff in his hand. Moses had a staff in his hand. The staff that's in your hand, it could be a skill. It could be a talent. It could be something that you're just passionate about, that you want to teach the world about. It could be a skill set. It could be an innovation that you want to bring to the world. And so when you think about the rod in your hand, I want to ask you, what's in your hand, Moses? I'm really asking you to take an assessment of what's in your life and what's around you and what you do well, what you do so well that nobody else can do. And what do I mean by that? When I say do well, you think, well, Andrew, I can't remember doing anything well. I want to let you know that you do, and you can. You have the ability to do things well. Here is another example that I use. I said that you are just like the fingerprints on your hand, where you have 4 fingers, 1 thumb, 5 phalanges. And each of these appendages, they all have different fingerprints. And so are you. Your skill is meant to complement another person. Your skill was meant to complement another person. So when people are talking about this, it's competitive out there, that the world is based on competition. That's what they want you to believe. That's what they want you to think. But what I'm helping you to understand, that you have absolutely no competition. We, from the right mindset, right, from a kingdom mindset, we should not compete against each other. We complete each other. I'll say it again. The human race should not compete against each other. We should build up ourselves, our individual self, so we can complete each other. Your skill is necessary for my skill. Your giftedness complements my giftedness. My giftedness complements your giftedness. My abundance complements your lack. Your abundance complements my lack. When we put this all together, the goal of this is so that none of us will be in lack. None of us will be in lack. And so what I'm here to help you to understand, that is opportunity monopolized? Absolutely not. Opportunity is not monopolized. It is your thinking that is monopolized. It's monopolized with the wrong thought processes. It's monopolized with stuck points. It's monopolized with hurts. It's monopolized with pain. It's monopolized with unforgiveness. It's monopolized with complacency. It's monopolized with just guessing. It's monopolized with comfort. It's monopolized with not wanting to live the change. It's monopolized with not knocking on doors. It's monopolized with not asking. It's monopolized with not seeking. is not monopolized with not trying, your brain is in a stuck point. And because you're stuck, you can't move. Here's what I want you to get from this as I calm down. Opportunities is about movement. And if you're not moving, you are at a stuck point. And it doesn't mean that you run around like a hamster on a wheel. That's not what we're talking about. Movement in your brain. Being able to move yourself mentally from one rung of the ladder to the next. Does that make sense? I also want to go out on a limb and say, it's coming out in my new book called Win Where You Are. I want you to see the stairs. I want you to see the stairs, but take the steps. See the stairs and take the steps simply means the stairs is the big picture of the opportunity, but the steps are the daily action and discipline that you have to commit to in order to make the steps accumulate long enough so you can have a stairs. The stairs is composed of steps. If you take one step off, you no longer have a stairs. I will say it again. A stairs that omits one step is no longer a stairs. It's a stepping stone. Does that make sense? I want you to get this. Stop looking at opportunities in life as this grandiose thing and think that, whoa, that is so lofty. Whoa, I can't reach it. Yes, you can. You have to discipline yourself to take the steps. Remember, success in life, opportunities in life are not limited. They're only limited by your thinking. And so you have to look at the whole big picture as a stairs. But you must discipline yourself to take the steps. Does that make sense? I always ask, does that make sense? It's the teacher in me. Want to find out where you are. Want to find out if this resonates with you. Want to find out if this is making sense. Want to find out if this connects with you. Want to find out if this is helping you. And if it is helping you, leave a comment in the box. Share this video with someone. Follow me on social media. Andrew Guy Speaks. Anywhere out there, you will find me. But I'm just want to kind of, as we get ready to wrap up right now, I want you to start thinking. And I don't just want you to think haphazardly. I want you to start assessing your life, asking yourself, where am I? Like where am I now? Where am I in my thinking? Where am I in my behavior? Where am I in my action? Where am I in my planning? Where am I in my doing? Where am I in my reflection? Where am I? Ask yourself, where am I? And when you do, I need you to pause. I need you to pause. And I want you to deep breathe. Taking about 5 breaths and count them out. Or you can do the you breathing. You breathing is when I start here and I go down and then I go up and I'm inhale. And then I go the other way and then I exhale. You breathing, that means you are breathing. If you are breathing, that means you are alive and well. But being alive is not all. Living is what makes the difference. Living is what makes a difference. So let me give you 5 takeaways from this whole live thing that we're doing. Number 1, you must assess where you are. Number 1, whether you're running a business, the greatest business that you can run, by the way, is not a corporation, is your Inc. Your Inc. is you. You. The next best business that you can ever run other than a corporation is your family. So you, then your family. Does that make sense? You want to assess you, know where you are. Ask yourself where you are mentally, spiritually, socially, financially, everywhere that you can think about. I want you to assess you first. All right? You know what they say, it's cliche now. If a plane is going down, it says, okay, fine. The hostess always asks you to do what? Exactly. Put your mask on first. Does that make sense? So if you're a parent, I want you to make sure you put your mask on first. If you're trying to tell your children to do something, stop telling them. Do it first. Do it yourself. And guarantee that you will make them a believer faster in doing as opposed to saying. I'll say it again. If you're a parent and you're trying to get your children to do something, stop talking. Start doing. You do it first. Be the example and let them follow that example. A lot of time, the best words that you can speak is action. All right? So let's go back to that number one. I want you to assess yourself. Assess yourself. And then I said the best place that you can manage, the best company that you can manage is not the one that you work for, is the one that you work in. I'm going to say it again. The best company that you can manage is not the one you work for. It's the one that you work in. Now, Andrew, what in the world are you talking about here, brother? The one that you work in, it's you. You're always working in you. You're working in you. You're working with you. You're working by you, but never by yourself. Do you understand? So I want you to start working at you, working in you, working for you. And then when you develop yourself, seek out whatever help you can get to help you get developed. Seek out mentorship. If you need coaching, reach out to andrewguyspeaks.com/coaching and find information there. We got a program that's there. We have our next program that's coming up called Win Where You Are. We have a next one. We have so much that's coming out right now. And I'm getting ready to launch these things in our new platform called the Greatest Impact University. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. You're going to be able to get self-development information. You're going to be able to get therapeutic help. As a registered psychotherapist, I'm going to have information there on CBT, how to help you to get rid of distorted thinking that's affecting you in the present, so you can live enough to survive, so you can take on another day. But it's all about the now. How can you master the now? So we're going to have programs. We have quick courses coming out that you can take. It's not going to take you forever. You know, on some of these courses, they're long courses, then they take forever to get done. No, we're going to have some courses that you'll be able to knock out in 1 hour. Have courses that you'll be able to knock out in 30 minutes. Have courses that you can be able to get 15 minutes. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. So when I talk about these 5 things, I want you to be able to start working on you. I want you to be able to assess you. I want you to be able to manage you. That's number 3. And you're going to manage you first. Manage you, not to manage you. If you can manage you, remember I said put your mask on first. If you're in an airplane, it's going down, put your mask on first. So manage you first. And the next thing that you're going to manage is the family. Make sure you don't get just crazy or lightheaded and say, I'm just going to run off and do this opportunity here and go off wherever I got to go and leave your family behind. Don't do that. Many people do that and come back and the house is empty. That's the world's way of doing it. That's the backward, as my friends would say in the South. That's the backward way of doing it. Don't do that. Don't. Because think about it this way. Your family, you went and got those family members. The kids didn't come look for you. You went and got them. So don't run off and leave them. So what I want you to do is work on you, make you the best you possible, right? Think of yourself as an engine, and then think of everything else that comes as the body of the car, right? And when you work on you first as the engine, then the engine will be able to work to move the car. And then you'll be able to put passengers in there. Passengers are other people that you're going to influence along the way. And when you influence those people along the way, you'll be able to take these people from where they are. You'll be able to serve them in your coaching, in your inspiration, motivation, and your lifestyle. Transform these people so they can have hope. Another thing that I'll say about hope is an acronym that I came up with many years ago from public speaking. Hope is happiness that overcomes pain and error. Happy is an internal factor. It's an internal job. Overcome. You're going to be hurt. You're going to have pain. You're going to have letdown. Going to have disappointment. You have to overcome those. You got to get over those. And the number one you have to get over is yourself. So you want to get over that, right? Pain. You're going to feel pain. And what is pain? Pain is a signal that means something has already gone wrong. That's all pain is. It's going to hurt, but there's going to be pain. And E is for error. You're going to make some mistake. You're going to mess up. Even people are going to mess you up. But if you have hope, you have a happiness that's internal from within. Happiness that overcomes pain and error. You are now hopeful. And I don't want you to just be hopeful. I want you to be full of hope, baby. Woo! I'm getting too pumped. Let me calm down. All right? Let me continue. So I want you to be hopeful. I want to impress upon you. Take care of yourself. Jim Rohn, one of my other favorite speakers, once said, take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. What a great quote. A lot of us take care of business. A lot of us take care of other affairs and never take care of our body. It's the last place we start to take care of until it starts to fall apart. Take care of your body. It's the only place you get to live. Remember, don't manage things. Manage you first. Manage the you ink. The one that lives inside of you. And what lives inside of you is not just flesh and bones. It's your thinking I want you to start managing. Does that make sense? All right. Number 5. Share your development. Share your development with others. No, I said number 5. That's number 4. Share your development with people. There's something about your story. It resonates with people when people realize that, hey, that guy has done that. That guy have been through that. You know, and if he can do it, then you know what? Bless God, I'm going to try myself. There's something about your story. You know, there's a scripture that my grandmother always talked about. And she said that, it said that they're overcome by the word of their testimony. And what does that mean? A testimony means it's only a story. It's only your story of how you interpret your lived experience and what it has made you out to be today. That's your story. Like me, foster home kid, couldn't read, cried to go to school, dummy, everyone called the dummy, short, big eye, mullet fish eye, you know, me, dark, just dumb, right? Couldn't read. Not going to do anything in life, not going to amount to anything in life. Mom left me at 6. Oh, got hopeful, almost took my own life. God saved me and said, no, I got a purpose for you. And here I am today, still rocking it. Had no ideas. Had some friends who said, man, you will never have a child. You will never get married. I had friends who said that. You will never get married. You will never have a child. You know, you're shooting blanks. You know, you ain't got nothing. Right? I had friends who said that. But, wow. I didn't prove them wrong. I proved me right. Okay? And so, number 5, I'm getting number 5 now. Don't waste your energy trying to prove your haters wrong. I'll say it again. Don't waste your energy trying to prove your haters wrong. Because if you do, they win. What you need to do, Lisa Nicholson once said, that energy goes where energy flows. Hey, way to go, Lisa. I like it. Don't know where you got it from, but I'm giving you props for saying that. So here's what happened. Once you start living your life trying to prove people wrong, you become resentful. You become a hater too. Because I always say, if you don't have haters, then you're one of them. I'll say it again. If you don't have haters, you are one of them. There's going to be something about you that people just don't like. Not everybody's going to like you. I am also a teacher in the classroom. I have been for over 12 years. The teaching, whether I'm in the classroom, I'm on the stage, or leading a staff development workshop, I'm always teaching. This is one of my skills. That's one of my gifts. And so I've had students who said to me, you know, Mr. Guy, we just hate you. And then I laugh, and then they're expecting a different response because they've said the same thing to other teachers before. And I laughed, and I said, ha, 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 ha. Mr. Guy, you know, he just said that they hate you. And I said, yeah, okay, I heard that. And then the kids say to me, Mr. Guy, why do you always laugh when somebody said they hate you? I said, because they're too late. Because before I got out of the car, before I got out of bed, and as I got out of bed, I loved me. I liked me before I got here. So you're too late. It's the same thing with the people who hate you, who dislike you, who call you all manner of evil because they just don't have anything better to do. It's okay. Right? You need those haters in your life, the ones who are doubters, say you're not going to make it. I want you to think of them as a glass filled with liquid, and then underneath, is the liquid, and then on top is the froth or the foam. The more liquid you put inside, which represents your haters, it'll just push the foam up, 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 up higher until it overflows. You are the foam. You are the cream off the top that keeps rising up and up and up and up. The more haters you have hating against you, then guess what? It means you're doing something right. Keep going, man. Keep going, woman. Keep going, black man. Keep going, black woman. Keep going, white woman. Keep going, white man. Keep going, human. Keep going, humanity. Keep going. Who cares who don't like you? The ones who like you, I heard long time ago that there are more for you than those who are against you. But guess what? If you focus on the naysayers, that's all you're going to hear. Everything is going to be not. But I want you to take that not and I want you to turn it around. I want you to reframe that thing. I want you to take all the nots and all the haters in the world who have said not or no to you, and I want you to take it and turn it around. Whenever you hear the word not, I want you to turn around and say tons. You're not going to make it. There is no opportunity for you. I said turn it around and say there are tons of opportunities for me. Does that make sense? When people say no to you, turn that around and said, wow, I must be on to something here. So look at what people are saying, reframe it, and use it as a tool for you. Because I want you to think about it. Florence Gloval Shin once said that every man is a chain in your link, is a link in your chain of success. Every man. So even if they're not saying the thing that resonates with you right now, even if they're saying hateful things to you right now, one day, they're going to call you Mr. Okay? One day, all your haters are going to call you Mr. One day, all your haters are going to call you Mrs. Or one day, your haters are going to call you ma'am, sir, doctor. They're going to call you entrepreneur. They're going to call you world changers. They're going to call you that. So don't worry about what they're calling you right now. Don't worry about what they're calling you today. There is a day coming when all of that is going to change, and they're going to call you by the fruits that you produce. Does that make sense? I am so excited. I'm so pumped. I'm too pumped. And I need to calm down. My wife always said, hey, you need to calm down. You need to calm down. So I'm working on it. I'm getting better. I'm learning how to calm down right now. But when I think of the possibilities, when I think of the opportunities, when I think of just empowering you, inoculating you with the right stuff, the resiliency that you need to transform your living, I'm not talking about your life, because your life is already decided. It's your living that credits and validates the life that you were got. And so I want to encourage you, wherever you are in life, I need you to assess. I need you to go back and watch this video again. And then I want you to apply those things. I need you to assess your life. I need you to manage you. I want you to manage the ink you. Instead of managing things, manage you. And the first you that you need to manage is the thinking. What's going on in your brain. And it's you live life from ear to ear. That piece of real estate called the brain is very important, but don't get stuck there. The mind is infinitely flexible. It's large. It's huge. I even call it luge. That is luge. That means huge and large. Hey man, it don't get no bigger than that, and it probably does. So I'm excited about having this conversation with you today. I want you to go over there to YouTube. I want you to subscribe to me. I want you to subscribe to me at YouTube. That is youtube.com/@AndrewGuySpeaks. I want you to go over there and sign up and subscribe. I want you to tell a whole bunch of people to come over there, because Andrew Guy is saying some things here. Andrew E. Guy is going to help me transform my life so I can live more resilient. And that's what it's about for me. My goal in life is to build resilient leaders and learners for life. Because what is a resilient learner? A resilient learner keeps going. A resilient learner doesn't give up. They give in to what they want to do. A resilient leader is one who stands regardless of what the followers are not saying. That's resilient leaders. And in order for you to be a resilient leader, you must be a resilient learner, because you have to learn you, learn your idiosyncrasies, learn your leadership style, learn what works and what doesn't work, and be willing to become a student of life and your circumstances and your surrounded, so you can master those skill set that you need to come back and lead in your area of expertise. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a slice. My name is Andrew E. Guy, author of Work Your Words, Finding Your Pathway to Personal Success, now available in print at andrewguyspeaks.com. Author of The Anatomy of the Kingdom and the Power of Community. Author of Win Where You Are, Stop Waiting to Become. All can be added at my website at andrewguyspeaks.com. Run over there and get yourself a copy. And then when you do read it, I want you to go over there to Amazon. I want you to leave a comment about the book and let us know how the book is working for you. If you've already read the book, please leave a comment. Go over there to Amazon.com or Amazon.ca and just leave a comment to let readers know how you're enjoying the book, how the book has transformed your life. With that being said, I need you to run over there and follow me out there at YouTube. That is Andrew Guy Speaks. Follow me out there on the Instagram. And if you're looking for a coach, you need somebody to push you, you need somebody to encourage you, you need somebody to help you to get through the rut, to get through these stuck points that you are, and just reach out to andrewguyspeaks.com/coaching, and let's get on a call and set up something so we can start a conversation to help you move from where you are, so you can navigate this life, so you can build that resiliency, so you can live the resilient life as a leader and learner for life. Until next time, take care of yourself. Until then, peace.